Hi, I'm Adonis Paul, and today we will be talking about 1999's The Matrix and why Morpheus is garbage. Now let's begin by agreeing there is no reason to like The Matrix at this point anyway, but perhaps I can give you another perspective on why to hate it. Specifically, Lawrence Fishburne's overrated character. Before it was entirely overplayed and the special effects achievements raped and pillaged by the industry, The Matrix was a pretty good popcorn flick, all except for Morpheus. So let's talk about why I hate Morpheus, and you should too. Now, when you think about the first time you see Morpheus at play in this film, you probably think about the office escape scene. But I submit, the first time he is clearly being a piece of trash is actually the night before, via Trinity. So in the most cryptic way possible, they lure Neo to this bar. And Trinity specifically tells Neo that Morpheus has sent her, and that she knows he's looking for Morpheus and the Matrix. She also clearly tells him he's in danger, just not what he's in danger of. The world's a dangerous place, Trinity. You gotta be more specific than that. In fact, she talks to him like she doesn't want him to understand how serious the situation really is.
Right now, all I can tell you is that you're in danger. I know why you're here, Neo. You're looking for him. I was looking for an answer.
So let's go ahead and put to bed the theory that they weren't entirely sure Anderson was the one they were looking for. They know, and they do nothing. Essentially, she just lures him to this club to say, hey, Morpheus is awesome and watch your back for non-specific danger. And then apparently Trinity roofies him and puts him into bed. Why not put him into bed somewhere safe? Why not let him walk home or whatever? Why make him think this is a dream so he disregards all the warnings of danger? Because Morpheus is trash, that's why. Morpheus wants everybody to think he's trying to help Neo, but nothing about this encounter says, I want to keep you alive. So with that in mind, let's explore the first time we hear from Morpheus directly, the office scene. Neo gets a cell phone in the mail. Let's assume this is some kind of encrypted line that machines can't monitor. Fine. It arrives as the agents do, and Morpheus is already set up somehow to guide him away from the agents. And he doesn't just have Neo double back when they pass him, hide out in a ventilation shaft, a bathroom, disguise himself, nothing like that. He sends the savior of mankind out a 20-story window to be battered by high winds. Why couldn't he pay for 8 a.m. delivery? Why could this phone not be couriered? It would have been safer and there faster. Why not send somebody in to intercept him on the way to work? Morpheus clearly knows the moment these agents are going to be there and plotted this whole thing out. But put all that on hold, because remember, they knew he was in danger last night. Trinity was with him last night. If they weren't sure it was him then, what made them so really sure between 3 and 9 a.m.? Instead of follow the white rabbit, couldn't Trinity have said, don't go to work tomorrow, stay hidden, and wait for DHL to arrive with further instructions?
What the hell?
I know it's not as cryptic as Morpheus is used to, but we're only 10 minutes into this film and we've already seen that Kung Fu Computer Jesus can be manipulated by tattoos. He'll believe anything, and Morpheus knows that. So after getting captured because no reasonable person is going to climb down scaffolding on the orders of some random internet hero who tells them to, the machines insert a mecha shrimp into his belly button. They then roofie him once again and put him to bed, making this the second cyber roofie Neo has been slipped in 6 hours. He is immediately awakened by a phone call from Morpheus, because Morpheus is a jerk. The tracking scrimp is already in his liver or whatever. They obviously aren't going to assassinate Neo or they would have done it already. Let the man get some sleep for once. This is the second time you have woken him up in 15 minutes of movie. I mean, after all, you guys already know you're about to drag him into an apocalyptic fever dream. So Morpheus tells Neo that the phone is tapped and they don't have much time. And since the phone is tapped, and Morpheus is obviously doing most of this for giggles, he then tells the machines monitoring that call, haha, screw you, he's literally the one and you should have killed him yesterday. No joke, listen to this for yourself.
This line is tapped, so I must be brief. If they knew what I know, you would probably be dead. You are the one, Neo. Now do you still want to meet?
Yes.
Now ask yourself this. Who calls on a line that they know is being tapped and knows you have a sentient tracking scrimp implanted in your navel, then proceeds to not only spill the beans on the entire plot, but where to specifically pick you up?
Then go to the Adams Street Bridge.
You wouldn't even be able to bust a drug dealer or a hooker with this plan. If Neo was worried about some unnamed government agency hunting him down at work, why would he be this stupid? Why would he even go home? But the savior of humanity just stands there making a stupid face because, well, Neo's an idiot. So Neo goes to the place where the machines now know he's going to be, after confirming to them that he is the one. Oh, and don't you dare start telling me about how this is all part of the bigger plan. Those sequel movies weren't even conceived when this was produced. And if that's the case, why hassle him at his job at all? Why put in the RoboScrim? Why hassle Morpheus for codes to Zion when they used a drill to bust in the ceiling 6 times already? And Morpheus wouldn't know that in any case, so screw you. He's trying to get Neo busted right now. But anyway, Hacker Team 1 picks up Neo to take him to meet this duplicitous snitch, Morpheus. But first, since he miraculously wasn't assassinated, they gotta get this scrimp out of him. And they do so by tasing him and vacuuming it out of his navel at gunpoint. Yes, the most brutal way possible. None of that instant put you to sleep stuff from yesterday. Nah, we want you wide awake when we forcefully vacuum this sharp metal parasite from your navel. Also, there's no wound or blood, and that doesn't bother Neo, or anyone else for that matter. So Neo meets Morpheus and they hit it off splendidly. It's possibly the most monotone speech ever put to film. And Morpheus immediately goes into being a jerk and not telling Neo what the Matrix is.
You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there.
Yeah, Morpheus, we all feel that way sometimes. The world's a messed up place. Now could you stop waxing philosophical for a second and explain why men in black and robot belly button spiders are a thing? Still not convinced Morpheus is a complete jerk? Listen to this.
Do you want to know what it is? Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
Yes. Yes, you absolutely can be told what the Matrix is. You do it in about 10 minutes.
A neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
This whole movie is the audience being told what the Matrix is. We understand immediately. You can't say the same thing to him now that you say 10 minutes later in the film? People have been explaining what the Matrix is without sucking each other into a nightmare world since 1 hour and 38 minutes after this film premiered, 21 years ago. But that's not all. Then Morpheus offers Neo some drugs and says this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
What? That might be the biggest lie in cinema history. Again, the truth is something you tell someone. Maybe show them. Offering the truth doesn't mean you suck them unwillingly into cyberpunk robot hell. That's like your wife suspecting you of cheating, and so you say, okay, I'm gonna offer you the truth. And then proceed to have sex with her sister in front of her. You could have just said it. So again, because Neo is a moron, he takes the red pill. Morpheus doesn't warn him to stay calm. He doesn't brace Neo for what he's about to experience. You get more warnings from drug dealers with real drugs than Morpheus gives Neo with the suck you into nightmare dimension pill. They're just like, his face is gonna be priceless when he wakes up intubated and catheterized in a vat of pink people juice and has to fight his way out paralyzed into the nightmare realm. I'll go as far to say, maybe don't put it that way to him. But something, a brochure. Even a, it's gonna be okay, Neo, just chill. Nah. Morpheus is doing this for fun at this point. He's trying to torture his new hostage. And make no mistake, Morpheus is taking hostages. And because it's just hilarious to download someone's brain for the first time without warning them, Neo goes into cardiac arrest. Something they were already monitoring for, apparently.
I got a fibrillation. He's going into arrest.
But luckily, he's sucked into Terror World just in time to puke up a robot phallus and get choked out by Terrorbot, who apparently flushes Neo once his life support is disconnected. Neo makes like a turd and lands in what is probably best described as a lake of carcass jelly, and is violently snatched up by another sharp metal claw, and craned up aboard the hovercraft. Now let's be clear at this point. Neo didn't sign up for any of this. For someone who goes on and on about the importance of choice for the next 5 hours of film and sequels, Morpheus sure isn't very good about giving Neo a choice, is he? Anyway, back to the movie. Neo probably just wants a hug right now, or an explanation, or some pants, but just gets this from Morpheus.
Welcome to the real world.
Not you're free, not the worst part is over, not, well, anything that would indicate something other than this is your normal life now in robot hell. We do this every day. Welcome to the real world is a bad choice of words here, Morpheus. Unless, of course, you're a complete jerk torturing this moron for fun. You're going to be okay now. Get some rest and I will explain in the morning. Might be good, I don't know. But they're too busy doing repairs on the savior of the human race to explain anything. Even though Neo is paralyzed and awake as they do this.
What are you doing?
Your muscles have atrophied. We're rebuilding them.
Why are my eyes hurt?
You've never used them before.
All the time in the world to explain the Matrix, but no, let's just keep it vague. And when they're done, they put him in the most prison cell-like room on the ship and wait for him to wake up. When he gets moving the next day, they stab him in the brain, and Morpheus proceeds to then explain what the Matrix is with words. Oh, Neo gotta be pissed right about now.
This is the world that you know. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
The neural interactive simulation.
No one can be told what the Matrix is.
The neural interactive simulation.
No one can be told.
Now, some of you might say, AP, they were in a simulation so Neo could understand and see the real world with his own eyes. To which I say, shut up, no they weren't. They were in a white room, then they were in a desert. Both things readily available inside the Matrix. He could have sketched that cityscape and described this to Neo. After all, Neo is the most gullible idiot in New York. This whole story he's telling now, he could tell with some visual aids in that crappy hotel room and let Neo know what he was in for. Give him some of that choice he's always going on about, but no, Morpheus is a jerk. Get some rest, Neo, because tomorrow Morpheus is gonna beat you up all day. So how is this so bad? He's training Neo to let go of what he knows and begin to break the system's rules. Well, for starters, he kicks the crap out of Neo before even starting to explain what any of this is about. Just drops him in a dojo and starts using Goku-level moves on his ass like, figure it out, kid. He straight up kicks Neo through a pillar. Then he taunts him.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
But when Neo gets one punch in, it's game over. In about 5 minutes, he went from computer nerd to Jet Li. What is keeping you from putting in another 5 minutes of training and making him into Goku? At the rate he's learning, he'll have the powers from the Matrix 2. Matrix sucks harder in like 20 minutes. Let the kid practice. Oh, I get it. I guess lesson's over when he stops getting his head kicked in. Morpheus just rage quit. Same thing with the building jump. You could jump over a river, a street. Elevation isn't a factor in how far he's gonna jump. Why start with skyscrapers? Welcome to computer nightmare world, kid. So when Neo inevitably fails, hits the ground and is like, oh, I get it, the floor is rubber. Let me try that again. Morpheus says, no, you fail. Lesson's over, dum-dum. It's no fun if you don't think you're gonna die. So Neo gets to learn Kung Fu from a computer. Neat. Other than that, 90% of his experience in the real world is Morpheus being a petty jerk, kicking the crap out of him, making him think he's gonna die over and over. So now that Neo knows Kung Fu and isn't afraid of heights anymore, mastering neither lesson intended by the simulator, either because Morpheus is a jealous punk, or because the game stops being funny if Neo relaxes for a second, Morpheus takes Neo to meet wise black grandma, who he promises will definitely tell Neo the truth, and asks he not only trust her impeccably, but refuses to answer any questions about what she says about him.
And she knows what? Everything?
She would say she knows enough.
Ah yes, very helpful. Wise black grandma tells Neo that he is a useless piece of trash, and Morpheus is wrong. But Neo isn't plugged into the mainframe anymore, so he's more or less Morpheus' homeless slave now. On the way out, they're cornered by some feds and try to escape into the wall. One fed becomes an agent and grabs Neo's shirt. Instead of Neo ripping his shirt with his newfound super strength, or unloading one or all of their mini guns through the wall, and at very least causing Agent Smith to lose his grip here, Morpheus has to flex. He explodes through the bathroom wall, gets his ass kicked, and gets captured. Oh, and let us not forget that 10 more minutes in the hyperbolic karate simulator, and at the rate that Neo was improving, he would have been able to rip the agent's arms right out of his socket. Which brings us to the big building invasion scene and them having to rescue Morpheus, who suddenly, when he sees Neo is around, has the strength to bust his cuffs and jump out the window, though he ends up getting himself shot, which seems to be a pattern at this point. Everything's going fine, and then Morpheus mucks it all up. Neo is living a completely normal life without nightmare hellscapes being a thing, and then here comes Morpheus to digitally mind rape him into a dystopia where humans are an energy source for soulless mechanical overlords. Morpheus is the Davy Jones of virtual hell world. Join me, crew, or drown in corpse slush. Frankly, Cypher has every right to be pissed. I relate to Cypher. He gets yanked into hell, made to serve aboard a future hover thing as the only alternative to starve in a cave, and the only hope of escape provided from their leader, Morpheus, is Computer Jesus and his magical prophesized Kung Fu power. Well, Kung Fu Jesus pulls it off and everyone gets out safely. But Morpheus, who, despite being too comatose to fight agents and was shot in the leg 5 minutes ago, then dropped 50 feet onto a rooftop, just jogs up just fine, just in time to not help pull Trinity up and make their exit. This jerk can now jog on his wounded leg and is all revitalized after the adventure that nearly killed everyone else, so of course he goes first, leaving Neo alone to fight Agent Smith. He barely survives that encounter and then he gets gunned down in a hallway. Morpheus can't believe that the guy he didn't train and abandoned could possibly be killed by invincible agents who can teleport, immediately losing faith in him. But luckily Trinity is there to give Neo the kiss of everlasting life. And then Neo does his whole I am Computer Jesus, feel my wrath thing. And that was the Matrix. So what did Morpheus actually do? What correct decisions did this sadistic Joker make? Identifying Neo? Sounds like that's something the Oracle did for him, subliminally or otherwise. He contributed nothing good to the mission or the world. Morpheus tricked Neo into leaving his home, friends, job, and family to join him in cyber terror hell to fight robots. He trained Neo in Kung Fu how to be faster and stronger just up and until the point where Neo started to win, then he rage quit the simulation. Didn't even train him how to super jump, just quit after Neo realized falling wouldn't liquefy him. Then he tells him to listen and trust a woman whose only advice in the movie ended up being a lie, and then he justifies it as, well, maybe you needed to be lied to.
Morpheus. The Oracle. She told me
She told you exactly what you needed to hear. That's all.
Man, shut up! He ends up getting captured, needing rescue. He does nothing to assist during the rescue. He gets shot, but hey, not bad enough to where he can't jog his ass up just fine after Neo's done saving Trinity, and just in time to leave the Matrix first, and leave Neo to sink or swim like Gohan against Cell.
Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's not thinking about strength or about competition. He's wondering why his father is standing there, letting him die.
And luckily, Neo pulls through, once again proving that about 10 more minutes of combat training was all he needed to learn to fly and use anime fighting moves to begin with. All of the second and third act could have been avoided if not for Morpheus being garbage. I've got a good mind to think Morpheus was just mad he couldn't be the one, and he's been doing everything he can since meeting Neo to low-key get him killed. I'm Adonis Paul, and I hope you never enjoy this movie again.